Before we embark on this documentary, it is essential to emphasize that it is a collection of hypotheses aimed at exploring the world. While many of the ideas we present can be verified, we do not compel you to accept them as absolute truths. Our purpose is merely to delve into a deeper, perhaps even darker, realm of human consciousness and to perceive the grander picture of what is truly unfolding around us. Thus, you must embark on your own journey of discovery. Conduct your own research and do not fear venturing into the depths of the rabbit hole, for truth, more often than not, is stranger than fiction.
It is undeniable that the collective human consciousness is in a state of disorder today. It is chaotic, exceeding its natural boundaries. Though the internet has granted us nearly instantaneous access to information, most people only perceive a fragment of the whole picture. For instance, algorithms dictate what appears when you use Google, Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media platform. These systems are designed to present you with what you are already inclined to see, without you even searching for it. They offer content based on what the algorithm assumes you wish to view, drawing from the behaviors of others. Unless you actively seek new information, strive to uncover something different, or follow a content creator who explores the depths of the rabbit hole and shares their discoveries, simply, what you encounter online will largely reinforce what you are already accustomed to seeing. You see only what you want to see. Due to the controversial nature of many ideas, particularly those labeled as conspiracy theories, most people never encounter new perspectives or perceive the true picture, much like the prisoners in Plato's allegory of the cave. When they do hear of them, they find these ideas swiftly dismissed, ridiculed, or branded as sophistry or dangerous extremism. The herd mentality makes it easier to ignore the exploration of novel concepts, allowing people to continue their lives undisturbed, for changing one's beliefs inevitably alters one's entire perception of existence. Moreover, many remain prisoners of prevailing ideas, unwilling to question or examine their validity for fear of societal rejection or a sense of instability. Clinging to the familiar offers psychological comfort, while new ideas unsettle that sense of security, making engagement with them unsettling for some, and admitting the possibility of error in deeply held beliefs can undermine self-confidence and open the door to an endless stream of questions about truth and knowledge.
Thus, most people are content to let things remain as they are. Yet, a select few are driven by an unrelenting pursuit of the ultimate truth at any cost. And as many of us know, it is often difficult to sympathize with those who choose comfort over the pursuit of their passion. As the old adage goes, you can lead a horse to water, but you cannot make it drink. Attempting to persuade others to think differently often only disrupts their mental equilibrium. This is why numerous ancient texts suggest that truth is not to be presented in such a manner. However, shutting one's mind to new ideas fosters a kind of self-deception, an illusion that blinds one to the grander reality that so often remains undiscovered. And it is through this very mechanism that they control human consciousness.
If you are familiar with spiritual science, you are well aware that everything is interconnected. This realization was a fundamental part of my own awakening, an experience so profound that I perceived all things as unified, interwoven, and emanating from a greater singularity to which they remain intrinsically linked. Yet, amidst the turmoil and struggles we face today, most people fail to see this, simply because they do not look or perhaps because they choose not to. In modern science, many researchers seek a unified theory of everything, one that reconciles quantum mechanics with the theory of relativity. Similarly, with the same humility, we present to you the conspiracy theory of everything. However, I invite you to approach this not with the intent to place blame, but as an opportunity for deep self-reflection. For introspection is the very nature of consciousness itself. Pointing fingers and assigning blame merely perpetuate the endless cycles in which we remain trapped. Only by liberating the mind from illusion can we break free from the chains that bind us to our lower state of existence. And when illusions fade, the truth stands bare, stripped of falsehood, revealing that the chains that once bound you were mere shadows cast by fear and indoctrination. In that moment, your awareness is set free, for true liberation lies not only in breaking physical shackles, but in shattering the mental fetters that hinder the mind's ascent toward broader horizons of understanding and wisdom.
Our theory begins with the concept of the demiurge, an ancient agnostic notion describing a consciousness that, while responsible for the creation of the material universe, is not the ultimate creative force behind all things. The best way to grasp this idea is through an understanding of The Matrix, a science fiction film that suggests everything we perceive as reality is nothing more than an illusion. It portrays a false world where most people live out their lives believing it to be real, while in truth, each individual is plugged into an artificial construct, disconnected from actual reality. From the suffering of those trapped within this false world, its overseers derive immense power and benefit. In the film's narrative, these overseers take the form of artificial intelligence created by humanity itself. This artificial intelligence serves as an apt metaphor for the demiurge, often depicted as a force, a deity, or a consciousness that crafted the material world and the perceived reality. Yet, in one way or another, it asserted itself above the true reality, masquerading as the supreme creative force. In doing so, it became a false god, imposing its dominion over the world as though it were the ultimate divine being. It concealed from living beings humanity, the highest truth, the supreme order of creation. It led us to believe that the material reality we inhabit is the one and only true reality, even though it is not. Depending on what we have been taught in school or what we gather from various Gnostic traditions, perspectives on the demiurge differ. Some view it as malevolent, deliberately deceiving us. Others see it as ignorant or misguided about its true place in creation, thereby leading us astray into the labyrinth of illusion. Simply put, according to ancient Greek thought, the demiurge is the force behind the material universe. But as long as we equate material existence with absolute truth, we remain prisoners of this illusion, trapped within an incomplete reality. In this context, the ancients, particularly those initiated into the mystery schools, believed that the material world was an illusion. They sought liberation through diverse spiritual practices, from meditation to herbal healing, all in an effort to connect with higher planes of existence. Their goal was to transcend the false reality by seeking ultimate truth, or rather, by uniting with the supreme force that resides within us all. For even the demiurge and the material universe itself ultimately stem from this higher force. Thus, they realized that the path to salvation did not lie in escaping reality, but in reshaping it through the understanding of its true essence. Every spiritual practice was merely a means to transcend the limits of sensory perception and cross into a higher awareness that reflects the great cosmic unity. From this perspective, the material world was no longer a prison to flee from, but a realm for deeper understanding of the energy inherent in existence, where the soul could ascend, not through denial or renunciation, but through harmony with the primordial source whose presence manifests in all things.
In Gnostic traditions, the term Sophia, which means wisdom in Greek, represents an awakening of the divine spark within us, a force that guides us back to the higher realms. This, in essence, is the ultimate goal of many Gnostic schools. Here lie the roots of enlightenment and the universal concepts of light that have appeared throughout human history, teaching us that even in a world riddled with suffering, we can transcend illusion through various forms of mastery and self-discipline, whether physical, emotional, or intellectual. Of course, such a path requires immense effort and genuine intent. After all, those who excel in life choose to undertake the difficult, which ultimately makes their lives easier, while those who struggle often opt for the easy, which in turn makes their lives more difficult. Now, as we shift our focus to the present, we find an overwhelming number of voices on the internet, sharing ideas, concepts, and an endless stream of humorous imagery. Yet, amidst this chatter, a concept has begun to emerge, one that is now being discussed not only in scientific circles but also in some areas of public discourse. It is the idea that the entire universe as we perceive it is nothing more than a holographic reality or some form of simulation. From a scientific perspective, when we examine the universe through the lens of quantum mechanics, there is a growing acknowledgement that we do not understand the cosmos as well as we once believed. Subatomic particles and waves behave in ways that defy classical physics, revealing deep inconsistencies in our fundamental understanding of reality. And yet, the laws of physics still hold true in the practical sense, governing the visible world we navigate each day.
However, the very fabric of reality appears to operate under laws that remain undiscovered. The holographic universe, in principle, functions much like the interplay between a film and its projector. When you watch a film, you experience it sequentially, frame by frame, typically at a rate of 24, 30, or 60 frames per second. The story unfolds before your eyes according to a set of predetermined rules that define the cinematic universe you are immersed in. But the quantum world behaves differently, more like the ability to view an entire film in an instant without any imposed chronology. Imagine being able to zoom into individual frames, watch the movie in reverse at will, or even experience all prequels and sequels simultaneously. The same principle applies to the particles and waves that constitute our reality. They are not bound by linear progression. Instead, they seem capable of operating under inverse causality, where the effect precedes the cause. This suggests that they follow an entirely different set of governing principles, distinct from the world we experience. Another useful analogy can be found in the realm of computer programming. What you see on your phone or computer screen at any given moment is merely a projection of intricate processes happening behind the scenes. The interface is designed to be user-friendly, yet beneath it lies an incomprehensible world for most, one governed by machine language. Binary code, consisting of ones and zeros, is a language so fundamental to machines that it enables the creation of highly complex and efficient algorithms. But rather than forcing humans to interact with this raw language, programmers develop high-level languages that are more accessible. These human-readable codes are then translated into machine instructions and eventually into binary at the deepest level. Thus, what you perceive on your screen is, in reality, vast mountains of ones and zeros hidden beneath the surface of the digital world. Just as an unseen realm of immense complexity exists beneath the digital reality we interact with, so too does a hidden universe lie beneath the surface of our perceived existence. So, do we truly live in an artificial reality?
You may be familiar with the ancient wisdom that states, "As above, so below." This phrase, rooted in Hermetic philosophy, suggests that events occurring on one level, whether physical, emotional, or mental, resonate across all others. It is a concept that applies across multiple dimensions, portraying higher realities as mirrored reflections of the lower ones. Just as machine language and binary code function similarly, forming digital experiences on our devices despite their vastly different structures, this principle might extend beyond the realm of computing. This is precisely the grand challenge facing modern science: the unification of quantum mechanics and general relativity. To this day, we remain unable to fully grasp how the tangible world, matter, gravity, life, time, and consciousness emerge from the ever-shifting quantum field of information, a realm seemingly governed by an entirely distinct set of statistical and probabilistic laws. But just as machine language and physical computers are intertwined, one might ask, are they truly separate? This leads to a more profound question, one now posed by many. Could our entire reality be nothing more than a simulation, an artificial construct to which our consciousness is tethered? Strange anomalies captured on camera fuel such speculation. Some interpret them as occasional glitches in the matrix. These oddities could, of course, be fabrications. No one can say for certain. Yet, consider this. A video exists of a bird frozen midair, motionless, before suddenly resuming flight. Then there is the eerie footage broadcast on Russian television years ago. A woman is seen playing with her young daughter, lifting her into the air. But in a moment defying explanation, the child hovers unnaturally, suspended in midair. When a man holding the camera calls out to them, the girl abruptly drops into her mother's arms, and they hastily flee. Once again, I am not claiming these are definitive proofs that we exist within a simulation, but they do spark curiosity, and that perhaps is what truly matters. So let's ask, what is the true nature of reality?
Humanity stands today in perpetual inquiry, seeking the ultimate secret of existence. The strange occurrences unfolding around us compel us to ask, what is the true nature of reality? I do not seek to provide you with an answer, but rather to encourage you to embark on your own journey, to delve deeper into the rabbit hole and form your own perspective. Only through such independent exploration can one cultivate the fertile ground of free thought, rather than succumbing to the herd mentality carefully shaped by prevailing forces in society at large. Even if the laws of physics, as we understand them today, assert that such phenomena, levitation, birds frozen midair, are impossible, we must also recognize that our grasp of physics remains incomplete. We have yet to reconcile gravity with the standard model of physics. And herein lies the key to our inquiry. At its core, the concept of the demiurge offers a profound lesson on the illusion of reality. The world as we perceive it is constructed upon the limitations of our senses, yet these senses are inherently restricted in their capacity to grasp the vastness of existence. This notion suggests that the illusion of the universe is imperfect, and as long as we confine ourselves solely to its material aspects, we will continue to experience a state of deficiency. Yes, we exist in a physical universe, but the cosmos extends far beyond the realm of the tangible. So, if we choose to believe only in this limited physical reality, we merely reinforce its dominance. Yet, by embracing the unknown and asking the right questions, we may liberate ourselves from the chains that have rendered us blind. The Emerald Tablets of Thoth the Atlantean propose that the human soul, as light, is ensnared within the veil of night. This metaphor implies that darkness is merely the illusion of separation. The soul's estrangement from the greater unity, its entrapment within illusion itself, a state of being divorced from the highest truth. It is the unenlightened mind that conjures the reality we mistake for truth. Thus, humanity continues its days in shadow, imprisoned within the illusion of belief. This means that the soul is separated from the supreme unity, or simply put, imprisoned in illusion in a broader sense, or something other than the ultimate truth. It is the unenlightened mind that constructs the reality we perceive as true. In this way, humanity dwells in darkness, captive to the illusion of beliefs, and detached from any higher reality.
This concept was masterfully illustrated in Doctor Strange, where Stephen rejected the existence of anything beyond the material universe, only to glimpse, in a moment of revelation, the multidimensional nature of reality itself. That singular vision allowed the intangible to manifest as tangible. It demonstrated that we all perceive reality through the lens of our conscious intentions. And yet, when we surrender our agency in shaping our own lives, we relinquish the driver's seat. But then arises the question, who then is steering the ship? Quite literally, everyone and everything else. Carl Jung called it the collective unconscious, the vast field of the shared human psyche, where the thoughts and emotions of others exert an unseen influence over our decisions, subtly guiding them by the sheer force of their energy. Whether through media, news, advertisements, the words of family and friends, or even the content we stumble upon online, all of it is absorbed by the ego, shaping who we think we are, while further alienating us from our true nature. And so, the ultimate question remains, what is truth? What is the higher reality? And how do we connect with it?
Ancient wisdom teaches that the pursuit of enlightenment, the quest for truth and the essence of existence, is an unending journey into the unknown. We are the architects of our own lives, unbound by the predetermined patterns we once followed. The great truth about the demiurge is that we, ourselves, sustain its existence by believing in the material universe as an absolute reality. Your beliefs shape the reality you inhabit, just as Dr. Bruce Lipton demonstrated in his work on the biology of belief. The thoughts and convictions we hold in our minds have a scientifically proven ability to influence how our DNA and cells express themselves. If you believe you are insignificant, that nothing will ever change your life, that you are doomed to die alone in misery, imagine the kind of existence that belief will manifest. Conversely, if you believe you have the power to change the world, imagine the life that belief will create for you. Yet, to break free from the chains we feel bound by, we must first believe that freedom is possible. We must open our minds to a greater truth, to a reality beyond the demiurge, to the cosmic revelation that has the power to transform life as we know it. And yet, humanity as a whole remains largely oblivious to such messages. There is a reason for this, for while this knowledge is vital, its missing piece must be found before humanity can truly advance and free itself from the collective illusion. Regardless of who stands behind it all, the question remains, how do the global elite manipulate human awareness? How do the elite control human consciousness?